Hey Seekers, all right, so I'm getting ready to head to the barber and I'm doing something that I swore I would never do, but I'm gonna do it. So get a load of the hair now, get a load of the everything, the beard. I have not found my beard trimmer since I've been here, so my beard is completely out of control. And once it starts to grow into my mouth, that's when I hate it. And it's starting to grow into my mouth and I do not like it. So I'm on my way to the barber right now to get cleaned up. And that is my alarm telling me it's about time to leave for the barber. All right, shut that off. And then when I get back, I'm going to talk about free speech and how, man, we are losing it. And I have some news about our Discord channel and how we were canceled. And I don't even know what we said. And I'll show you what was said that we were doing in there and why now we'll be moving the community to locals and how you can join and become a member and support free speech, because we're going to have to start doing that. So I'm going to get my hair cut first, and then I'll start recording in the car, and we'll talk about free speech. All right, here we go. Say goodbye to this, whatever this is. All right, I just got out of getting my hair cut, and as you can see, I got my, I decided to color my beard. I always said I would never do that, but like, it was just so white. So I didn't color all of it, I just colored the bottom part. It was like she missed a little down here under the mustache, but hey, that's okay. So hopefully it looks cool. And I got my nose waxed, my nose hair waxed, which I've never done. So yeah, let me know what you think. But anyway, wanted to talk about free speech and how we are absolutely losing every ounce of free speech that exists. So Discord, we started a Discord server and they just deleted it or suspended it. And I would assume I can appeal. I don't know the process or whatever, but people are like, you should appeal, don't let them win. But the thing is, like, the last thing I want to do is spend a whole year or a bunch of time. I'm gonna go get some food. A bunch of time building up this community, this awesome big community, and then all of a sudden then they take it down. I don't want to put that time and energy into that. So I decided to go to locals. So if you guys want to join locals, it's just locals, davidfoster.locals.com if you want to join the community over there. I don't know a lot about how that works yet. I mean, I know we use it for redacted, but I've not messed with the back end or whatever to know how posting and stuff works for free members versus paid members or whatever. So we'll just have to work through all that. But go over there, sign up, join the community. And that's where I'll start posting the extra content and stuff that I was gonna be posting in Discord. And you guys can help me come up with story ideas and all that other stuff. So would appreciate seeing you over there. But I'm hoping that at some point, Mark Zuckerberg admitted that Facebook was censoring people. They were censoring stories. They were throttling information, throttling the Hunter laptop story, and that the Biden administration specifically reached out to Facebook and had them do that, right? And we already know through the Twitter files that the DHS and all those other three-letter agencies were reaching out to social media and having them throttle us, censor us. YouTube does it still to this day. And Facebook, Instagram, TikTok is doing a lot of that. And as I understand that those are free, private platforms, and they do have a right to decide what goes on their platform and all that. However, when the government gets involved to request that they do that, that's where it becomes a violation of the First Amendment. So the government cannot get involved in that. The government cannot be censoring us in any way, shape, or form. And even if it's through a private organization, they cannot do that. That is against the First Amendment. And it's it just feels like our Constitution means nothing. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people realize, but one of the things, like there's a police handbook, and if you're a police officer, and it's in your county or your state or your city and can verify this, but I know that some of the state police and local police handbooks say that like warnings to look for or things to look for people, that suspicious people, are third-party candidate bumper stickers, missing fingers because they assume you're potentially making bombs, carrying a constitution. So I watch a lot of these police body cam videos on YouTube, you know, just watching how the police interact. And they really get bent out of shape when you try to exercise your rights. And I love watching these auditors that go in. Now, I feel like some of the auditors push the police too much and they're kind of assholes. But there's like Long Island auditor and people like that they do it in a more professional manner. They're not like calling them names and all this other stuff, and just like basically trying to agitate the police. When they do that, it just goes a little bit too far for me, and I don't like that. But I do feel like that is something that has to happen. People need to stand up for their rights, and especially with these police that just happen to think like, you know, our rights are a joke, because they are not a joke. They're our rights, and we're losing them. I mean, the Constitution is basically fading away slowly but surely, and there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's no big deal, you know. Oh yeah, I'm for some level of censorship and all this, and I will say I am a free speech purist. You know, people still use that whole, oh, you can't yell fire in a theater or whatever, which is, you know, that was actually reversed through, I think I went the wrong way. Yeah, I did. I definitely went the wrong way through the Supreme Court or whatever. So, you know, that you can, that is not against the First Amendment to yell fire in a crowded theater. It is not. Like, I looked into that. You guys can look it up on even Google will give you the truth on that one. I don't know where I turned wrong. I was going to go look for some food, but I missed a turn. I'm still learning. I'm officially in Colorado, and I'm still learning, like getting my bearings. But like, so in an essence, it's like, okay, so you're just going to let Discord win. You're just going to walk away and you're going to let them win and not appeal and all this stuff. It's not letting them win. You know, I would rather at this point, you know, after thinking it through, after, you know, just looking at all the details and everything, I would just rather support a free speech platform like Locals and Rumble and X. And I still have my issues with X, but I digress. You know, a free speech platform, I'd rather support that, where I know that we can talk about whatever we want to talk about without worrying, versus, you know, us building this large community. I'm not talking to you, Siri. Building this large, huge community, and then all of a sudden, it's gone. It's gone. We have to start all over. You know, I don't want that. And then starting over, got to move everybody, you know, back to this other place or whatever. I don't want to deal with that. I would rather put our energy into focusing on a place that isn't going to go anywhere, at least for the time being. I mean, we don't know the future. We don't know if something's going to happen and, you know, Rumble gets purchased, and then all of a sudden they've got this huge audience, and then they start taking that away. Like, we don't know. You never know. Hopefully Chris would never sell it and do that, but again, you never know. But right now, it's one of the few sites that supports free speech, and so that's why we're going to move there. And you know, there's really nothing we can do. I mean, you know, other than potentially, like, hopefully Donald Trump takes office over Kamala Harris, because the Democratic Party has become the anti-free speech party. I mean, they want you to, you know, only talk about the things they say you can talk about. They don't want you saying anything negative about people. They don't want you misgendering or you know, whatever. And the thing is, like, they want no feelings hurt, right? You can't hurt people's feelings. But when you make that into law, that you can't hurt people's feelings, you have to make that law based on the weakest person among us. And there are some weak freaking people out there right now. There are some very, very weak people out there. And so those laws would be determined by the weakest among us. And that is a scary thing, because, then you're making laws for people who can't even handle you using the wrong pronoun. There are people that completely melt down and lose their shit if you misgender them with the wrong or use the wrong pronoun. I mean, that is absolutely insane to me, that people can get that bent out of shape. And I don't want to live in that world. And Kamala Harris started a not a coalition, but not the office. It wasn't an office. Anyway, she started this campaign with the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, the U.S. Attorney General, and the Surgeon General, where it would be a federal crime to misgender people and all this other stuff. And I did a whole video on this, and I'll link the video that I did on it in the description that you can go watch if you want to. It's pretty interesting when you read what they actually want to do in this country, and you listen to them talk, listen to Kamala Harris, listen to the Surgeon General, the Attorney General. Like, it is absolutely insane. And if they do this stuff, man, like, we would basically be facing the same stuff people in the UK are facing right now. I don't know if you guys saw that college professor that was just arrested because he refused to use people's pronouns. He refused to play the game. He is facing jail for refusing pronouns because it was against his religion. So, your religion, your beliefs don't mean anything against this woke ideology. You're going to have to play ball, or you can go to jail. So, that is coming to the U.S. I mean, technically it's already here. I mean, it's technically already here, because you can get in trouble on social media platforms like the message I got from Discord. It said, for demonizing a protected group. When you protect a group of people, when you add laws or add rules to protect a group, you are in essence taking rights away from other groups, because they are forcing or compelling our speech. They're compelling us to say these pronouns, which is compelling speech. So it basically becomes mandated speech. And you cannot mandate speech. You can't do it. It goes against the Constitution. And they're trying to do it. This is the whole thing that Jordan Peterson almost lost his psychiatrist license, psychology license, or whatever it is he has. Almost lost that to the Canadian government, because he was in the same boat, that you are not going to compel my speech. And so these social media platforms, these woke ideologues, the woke left, like, they all are working lockstep in order to take our rights away, to protect them from hearing things, not physical violence, but from hearing things through their ear holes that hurt them. So speech has become violence. And it's violence so bad that they have to make laws so that we can't use it. We can't use our free speech fully, because we might hurt some weak person that can't handle words. And it's typically on the left, but I mean, I see it in the people that watch my videos. There are some people that just can't handle, like me saying I wasn't going to vote. There are some people that absolutely can't handle that. They lose their shit, they go away. Anytime I talk about how I'm an atheist and don't believe in religion and all that stuff, I have people lose their mind and say, I can't watch somebody who's not a Christian. Well, you know, go live in your echo chamber, go do that. But that's just like the worst thing to be, because that is, you know, that is your right. I understand that. But it's also like, you know, I had people, if you don't stop using the F word, I'm not going to watch. Well, you're trying to compel my speech. Don't try to change a person to suit you, just leave. You don't have to tell me or ask me to do something that is, you know, I am my own person. I do what I want, and no one is going to compel me to be anything other than who I am. Because that would, one, I would be being fake to my audience. Two, I wouldn't be happy. You know, I present things in a certain way, and it's just the way that I talk. I have no problem with the way that I talk. If you do, if somebody does, you have a problem with my opinion, you have a problem with my take on something, that's absolutely fine. You are allowed to do that. But you are not going to ask me or tell me not to speak my mind. That's not going to happen. That'll never happen. So, yeah. Anywho, okay, now I see where I was supposed to go. I completely turned left when I should have turned right. I don't know how I got flipped around. It's still happening to me. I still get flipped around. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think about the whole free speech thing. I mean, I know we were talking about the last week or whenever I haven't been making videos. I apologize. You know, moving and everything has taken up a lot of my time, unpacking everything. I had gear that I couldn't find. Now that I've got it, I'm going to try to get back to daily vlogging, putting these videos out every day and having conversations with you guys. The camera went off, it overheated, so I didn't finish my sentence. But what I was saying is, YouTube seems to have relaxed a little bit on the whole censoring comments. Like, I've not gotten any warnings lately, or seen people saying that. Maybe, I don't know. But hopefully, they take a page out of Mark Zuckerberg's letter. You know, that's something that I wanted to speak about also, was Mark Zuckerberg releasing that letter and saying that the Biden administration specifically had contacted him, right? So hopefully YouTube and all these other platforms are like, hey, like, he knows what's up. Maybe we better get on board. Maybe we've been a little bit too harsh. And maybe the Justice Department is going to come after us, as they should. If they are working specifically with the government, that is a crime. That is against the Constitution, and they can get in big trouble for that. So I'm hoping that that letter inspires them. And I don't care. People are like, oh, Mark Zuckerberg was doing that just to save his ass. I don't care. I don't care if he was doing it just to save his ass. Because sometimes, you know, when we're young, we do things and we don't realize what direction we're going to go as we grow up. So if he in his 20s and early 30s was a lefty and thought he was doing the right thing, but then he's starting to move more toward the right or to the center where he should be, then I commend him for that. I don't care why he did it. All I care is that it happens, and he's doing it publicly, saying it publicly, because then hopefully that will inspire these other platforms to see, okay, it's like, let's say Mark Zuckerberg makes that announcement, they start reversing things and becoming more of a free speech platform over there on Facebook and Instagram, which, who knows? I mean, he still talks about fact checkers, and we know about the fact checkers. No one's fact checking the fact checkers, but let's say that all of a sudden Facebook takes off again and people are like, hey, we're going to support Facebook because they're supporting free speech. And then all of a sudden YouTube's like, wow, we're missing the boat by, you know, pissing off all these subscribers, and they're all moving to Rumble. They're all trying to move to other places. They're moving to X. They're moving to Facebook. Maybe we better turn this around. That is the market at work. That right there is actual capitalism. That is how the market is supposed to work. The market will speak. The market will correct, and they will move in the way of the market, or they'll go out of business because they'll run out of money. Advertisers won't be advertising, you know, or whatever, because they'll be like, hey, all the traffic's over here. So hopefully that's what's happening, or that's what happens. I know that that's a fantasy at this point. We don't know, but hey, this is how it starts. It starts with a little flake of snow, and then it starts to roll, and it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And people are seeing the popularity of the sites that are supporting free speech. I mean, in the information war, as long as they don't get a hold of it, as long as they don't get a hold of X, Rumble, Locals, and places like that, as long as they don't get a hold of them, we are winning the info war. But if they get a hold of that, they take that away, we will lose. We will lose. We will not win. We cannot win. We cannot beat this machine without open dialogue and social media. We can't. We won't. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber and a seeker. Please come over and support over on Locals. I would love to have you over there. It's just davidfoster.locals.com. All right, come on over, and hopefully I'll see you there. All right, peace, you guys.